United had a 3-0 win over Sheriff. Cristiano Ronaldo was back from his exile. He was also on the score sheet, along with Diogo Dalot and Rashford as well. Stevie Nicol was watching this game for us, so he got to see Anthony's very special little spin and fancy trick. And
Spinorama.
We wondered what you thought about it, Stevie.
I was kind of stuck in the middle. You know, had it been 3-0 for United at the time, I probably would have a different opinion of it. But the fact that it was 0-0, my opinion would be, if I'm his coach, I'm thinking it's 0-0. We need to win this game. We don't get any points for circus tricks. So I guess if I'm the coach, I'm probably not happy. But sitting watching it, it didn't really bother me. I just kind of wondered at 0-0, what's that all about? But I guess it's just the makeup of Anthony more than anything else. I certainly don't think he was showboating to wind anybody up. I think the ball just came at him a certain way. He went round once and thought, I'll do it again. So I wasn't that offended by it. But I think his manager probably would be asking him questions about the timing of it at 0-0.
Well, Erik ten Hag did have a little bit to say afterwards. He said he doesn't mind if it's functional, but he demands more of his player. And also, he doesn't mind, yes, you can do the trick, but make sure what happens afterwards
that you complete the pass.
Our team. And he didn't complete the pass. Now, my compatriots in the English media have been incensed by this. They've not been happy at all with what they saw on the pitch. Where do you stand on moments like this, LA?
Look, I don't mind if you want to showcase your skill, right? And I don't mind that if you're going to decide to showboat or show off or disrespect the players that you're playing against, at least do something that is interesting, that is difficult to do, that is, I would say, one of a kind. But going around in circles with the ball, I don't know exactly how that's difficult, and I don't know how that's entertaining. You know, we concern ourselves with guys like Vinicius Jr. and Neymar and say, well, he tried to do a rainbow. Well, if he pulls off the rainbow, he's actually going past somebody and going towards goal. So that could be, as Erik ten Hag called it, functional. This was doing loop-de-loops, circles around himself twice, and people are going, hey! I'm thinking, well, hold on a second. The bar for skill has to be higher than going around in circles twice. I wasn't the most skillful player, but I could do that.
Well, I can't do that. So maybe for all those guys watching at home, it's a bit more special, except for the English media who are not happy. LA just wanted the level of skill to be a little bit better. But let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, because, Stevie, he was back in the team, he was back on the score sheet. What did you make of his performance this evening?
Well, when he did score, you could see how happy everybody was for him. And you could see there was kind of an ironic smile on his face, and he was happy he scored as well. But I got to tell you, he should have scored at least 2 before that. And he actually had an opportunity maybe 10 minutes before he scored where he's dropped his shoulder, gone past the defender. He's probably 14 yards out. He's got most of the goal to hit, and he hits it wide. And you could see the whole stadium going, how did that not go in? Where's the real Ronaldo? Who's this guy? But 10 minutes later he did score, and everybody had a smile. But again, it felt a little bit like his last appearance. Felt like you feel a little sorry for him. And up until his goal, it was all deja vu. I felt bad for him. 2 great chances, and then the one, as I told you, to put wide. He could have had 2 or 3, but he ends up with 1. But still a little cringy to watch.
He didn't do any fancy spins, though, that didn't go anywhere.
No, he didn't. But he did have chances to score. And it was interesting just to kind of get the sense of what the feeling was at Old Trafford. They're not going to boo Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And they're hoping for him to do well. And when he scores, it's like, yeah, everybody's excited again. And the reaction would be one of, yes, Cristiano Ronaldo is back. But I'm with Stevie in the sense that it felt like this was the game that he was going to play against Sheriff at home. but when it comes time to play a meaningful match on the weekend, he's not going to play. That's, I think, the role of Cristiano Ronaldo now for Manchester United under Erik ten Hag is he is a part-time player and a guy who will thrive in Europa League.
Okay, so Europa League it is for him now. If things were to go right for Sporting, his first team, it could be Champions League, and the Sporting coach, Ruben Amorim, had it put to him whether they would like Cristiano Ronaldo to come back, and he actually said, we would love to have him, but he just costs too much. He said it's always the dream for him to return here. So he'd be happy, it looks like he'd welcome him with open arms. So I'm interested what you think about this, Luis Garcia. Would you rather your weekly wage that you get at Manchester United and Europa League football, or take a big pay cut, play potentially Champions League with a team that you also adore in Sporting?
You have to be at that spot. I don't think that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to go to Sporting. I mean, I will never know because we are not in his head, but definitely, but the way that he is, the personality he is, he's a winner. I'm not going to change United for Sporting just because they are Champions League or they are playing Champions League maybe for 1 or 2 games. And then I'm going to continue playing in the Portugal League that, with all my respect, is not the same like the Premier League. So at the end, it's about trying to keep, and I think that's his personality, at the highest level. And you play at Man United at the highest level. You're playing in Premier League. Yes, this year you're playing Europa League. We don't know what's going to happen next year, but definitely at the moment, I don't see him moving anywhere else. I think that he wants to prove that he deserves to play, that he wants to play, and that he is able to play as the years that we've seen him for so long.
You know what I heard there, right? In between the lines, what I heard from Luisa, I'm not leaving that money on the table. I'm not leaving that money on the table. That money is mine, son.
And we don't even, like, obviously, this is just what the Sporting coach said. There doesn't seem to be anything in this, but it's just an interesting question to know.
Give me that.
What would you do?
Give me that.
You'd rather have the money?
What? No, that's what Luis is doing. Here you go. Give me all that. It's right here.
No.
What about you, Stevie? What do you do with your Ronaldo?
At this stage.
Well, he's never going to take that big a pay cut. And quite frankly, if he doesn't, he's not going to be playing football. You know, because he's going to have to. Nobody, unless he's going to go. Unless he's going to go to Saudi Arabia, or if the Chinese start paying crazy money, or again, unless he does that, he's not going to get the amount of money that he probably thinks he's worth. Unless there's some crazy guy in the USA or somewhere like that who wants to show off to everybody and says, I'm going to sign Ronaldo and I don't care because I've got loads of money. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see anybody paying him the type of money or anywhere close to the type of money he's getting right now for one simple reason. Yes, he's Ronaldo, but you know what? He's not the player Ronaldo was. So, no, not for me. I'm sorry. If he wants to play properly, he's going to have to drop down the money. And if he doesn't, then he doesn't love the game quite as much as he's telling us or thinks he does.
The coach did say, we want him, but he just costs too much. And he was very honest about that.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.